bother to plan this trip, really.
Join me on day 4 of this French road trip as I navigate driving through towns, finally slowing down a little bit, get back to the Museum of the Atlantic Wall, and have a very windy night not sleeping.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Familiar is not the word for this trip, is it? Good morning on day 4 of our French road trip. Today, in terms of driving, I've done a lot more town driving. It's been busier. That's maybe the most stressed I've felt on the whole trip. But you know what? I didn't cause an accident. I didn't do anything wrong. I've maybe just gone a bit slower than the speed limit. I also have to find somewhere to sleep tonight because I've not thought that far ahead at all. So I've come into the museum and I've left my camera in the van, so I'm just using my phone. And oh my god, like it's €8.90, which is nothing really. And I didn't realise you can actually come up onto it, and I'm not even going to try and pretend that I can remember the information that I have literally just read. How cool is this? So it's a rail mounted artillery gun. So I actually get to enter into the blockhouse, I think it was called now. Why did I leave my camera in the car? What was I thinking? Anyhow, I'm not actually sure if you're allowed to film inside here. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't take my camera. But let's go have a look. So on the floor there are blue arrows that you follow. And I still have a little bit of anxiety that I'm going to get lost, even though I don't think you would get lost in this kind of place. But you literally just follow it around, and then these are the upstairs exhibitions. Such a cool place. Oh my god, that was amazing. If you ever come to France and you have a little bit of spare time, particularly if you're like using the Channel Tunnel, this really isn't far at all and I highly recommend it. So much to look at, and I will admit I really don't know an awful lot about the war and like guns and planes and armour and stuff, but I felt quite overwhelmed at some points in there just with the immensity of the stuff and obviously the impact that has had on our history as like humans. It's quite intense, to be fair, but it really €8.90, like a really great experience. I highly recommend coming here if you do have a bit of spare time. So I'm parked up, I'm back at the beach, and I'm looking for something, excuse my French, plage de Calais. It's down here, as long as it's not already covered by the water. So I don't know if I am. I don't think I'm too late because I can see what looks like the pictures on Google. Well, according to Google Maps, I am in exactly the right place. However, I'm beginning to think maybe some of these pictures are old and maybe some of the stuff that you can see has either been removed or something. So it looks like it's just a nice walk on the beach tonight. This is not where I'm actually going to stay. So I've parked at the car park right at the very end of like a farm track, so that you go through working farms to get here. It's a proper car park, there's loads of people here. It's got a height barrier of 2.1 metres, but if you're in like a motorhome or like a higher top van, like a Crafter or a Sprinter or something, you're definitely not going to get in there. But yeah, this is not where I'm planning to stay tonight. It's very remote. Not that there's anything wrong with that, like the peace and the quiet. But there's a place further north that is meant to be really close to the beach, just like this. But I don't know, on Park for Night, I just felt better about it. Yeah, I just felt on Park for Night that it just probably looked a bit better for me and for what I actually want. And if not, obviously I can come back here. There's loads of places around here you can park. I'm just going to take some time now, wander about and really chill. You know what? I think I've just seen what I'm looking for up on the cliff as well. Bloody ridiculous step. It's almost like I don't know what I'm doing, isn't it? It's almost like I didn't bother to plan this trip really. I'm saying that could be anything that I can see as well. Better than sitting at home doing nothing, innit? Better than sitting at home. Definitely looks like a bit of something, doesn't it? But where the rest of it is, I have no idea. But here is the next blockhouse. Just realised I didn't set a pin on my Google Maps, so when it comes to going back to the car, I'm gonna have to really make sure that I find the right like opening to the trail that I walked through from the car park. Spiderstan's Nest 152. Apologies for the terrible pronunciation there. Obviously not going around the front because I'll get very wet doing that. So now it's going to be find the van, get back to the van, and then go to tonight's park up hopefully. It's 4 o'clock, so sunset's in half an hour, and tonight is a super full moon, so you never know, we might see some wacky magic going on in the beach. Might be me doing it. I've been to tonight's park up option number 1. There's actually quite a few options as you're heading back towards Calais. It's nice, quiet, pretty empty. Not sure it's the one for me, so I looked on the map. I found another air, so I've come down here. Hello. So I've looked on the map and I found this air. It's probably more of what I'm used to. It is on a busier road, so there'll be a bit more traffic. I mean, that doesn't bother me. But it does suggest that it's going to close, like that it closes at 11 and opens at 6. There's no barrier or anything, but I also really don't want a rude awakening at like 11:30, being told to move on. So it's right near Blockhouse. We'll go have a look at the Blockhouse, maybe wander on the beach for a little bit, and then to be honest we might just drive back to that other place. It was 4 minutes drive, so it's nothing really. And excuse me, I've got pillars in my mouth because, you know, I saw them in the van and I thought, wow. And you can see in the distance Dover and all the freight. There might be a ferry. No doubt it's transporting, certainly the freight, a bunch of crap that we don't need, that we're probably all going to buy. I've really tried to change my spending habits over the last few years. I mean, I've become self-employed. That was like a big change for me. I've never ever been self-employed before, so I'm in charge of my own income. So very scary, very liberating. God, they're huge, aren't they? So yeah, so if you're interested in doing this sort of thing that I've done, definitely look at the ferry. I think it's cheaper than the tunnel. For me, I knew the tunnel was 35 minutes, like from start to finish of the actual tunnel bit, and that's a bit more tolerable for me. On the shuttle website, passages from like £59. I'm guessing that's your Jet 2 passage with one personal item as a passenger, like a pedestrian, and absolutely nothing else, because every time I check on with my van, the cheapest crossing one way is like 123 quid. It'd be cheaper to fly, but then you don't have the freedom that I've had this whole trip as well, so you win some, you lose some. But I do prioritise ease. I don't want something that's going to be super stressful and difficult. Drive through the booths. So it depends what your values are. Like I said, mine is ease and peace, and I know that the tunnel gives me that. Lots of just rubbish in there, to be honest. People that come and leave rubbish everywhere really annoys me. great deal to see with that one. Eating most of the food that I need for today really is go back to that like centre, stay in their car park, wait till it gets dark, and then put the roof on. Tell you what, I've really missed this trip. Something like a co-op or like a whatever it's called, Sainsbury's at home, whatever it used to be Jackson's, like convenience stores. But had there been something like a co-op in most villages open till 11 p.m, I think I might have felt a bit more, I don't know, not relaxed. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have felt anything then. Maybe it would have just felt more familiar. Maybe that's what the word I'm looking for. Maybe more familiar. But then I'm in France by myself, so familiar is not the word for this trip, is it? Familiarity is not the theme here. So I've been parked up for a few hours now. I was laid down. I could just hear the wind, like, and I just thought, oh gosh, I don't think I can go all night listening to that like wind noise. I have actually moved it, and actually I feel a lot better for it. So I'm now on the other side of like the community build. I did, however, just get a notification from O2 saying I now have used more than 80% of my data. I switched my iPad off, and I'm just going to be reading the book. I definitely need to make sure that tomorrow I can get back to the Channel Tunnel carefully. Guess who was selected for a British Border Force customs check and has missed the early tunnel?